It says that money is needed to help people who are struggling because of the pandemic. And while the damage to our economy may never be fully calculated, a Treasure Coast lawmaker thinks he knows who should be paying for the damage. Our Jay O'Brien has more on Congressman Brian Mast's legislation that would be holding China accountable. Is that right, Jay?
Yeah, Jim, if you don't know much about Congressman Brian Mast, you've likely heard of his service. He lost both of his legs to an IED in Afghanistan, but now he's setting his sights on a new battle trying to hold China accountable.
There's been basically nothing done about China and their ties to the pandemic.
Congressman Brian Mast calls China's handling of coronavirus a cover-up. In new legislation, he accuses the People's Republic of silencing doctors, reporters, and downplaying the origins of a virus that would claim hundreds of thousands of American lives and livelihoods. Mast's bill calls for the U.S. and other nations to halt paying off debts to China, holding the money as a compensation for coronavirus. The plan is a long shot.
Somebody's going to tell you there's no way this happens.
And people will always say, there's no way this happens. But it all starts with that point. We need to hold China accountable for where they've been culpable in this.
Some economists are concerned even the threat to withhold a debt payment could backfire, ruining global trust in the U.S. financial system. It also may heighten the already tense relationship between the U.S. and the Chinese Communist Party.
There are, of course, areas in this relationship that are adversarial.
Meanwhile, China is reportedly doubling down on misinformation.
We are again here at Fort Detrick.
Even putting out English language reports like this on YouTube, pushing a false claim that COVID-19 originated from a U.S. military lab in Maryland. Mast calls China our nation's biggest global threat.
China is increasingly seen by the world and by people across Main Street America for the aggressor that they are.
All of this is playing out while advocacy groups say there are increasing acts of violence against Asian Americans and Pacific Islander communities. Mast says he believes politicians can thread that needle of denouncing that kind of racism while also attempting to investigate the origins of this pandemic. I'm Jay O'Brien, CBS 12 News.